A story about Proverbs 11. In a small village called Fairhaven, people lived their lives, some choosing kindness and honesty, others chasing selfish ways. This is a story about lessons showing how choices shape lives, told so you can understand. One day, a merchant named Eli set up his fruit stand in the village square. He used sneaky scales that cheated customers, giving them less fruit than they paid for. God, who sees everything, wasn't happy with Eli's dishonesty. But across the square, Sarah used fair scales, making sure everyone got what they paid for. God smiled at her honesty, and her customers trusted her. Nearby, a proud boy named Caleb bragged about being the best at everything: running, drawing, even math. His pride made him rude, and soon, kids avoided him, leaving him embarrassed. Meanwhile, quiet Mia didn't boast. She listened and learned, gaining wisdom that made her a true friend. Two farmers, Jonah and Seth, worked nearby fields. Jonah was honest, always doing what was right, and his choices led him to good decisions, like planting crops that grew well. Seth, however, lied to get ahead, selling bad seeds. His sneaky plans failed, and his crops withered, ruining his farm. During a tough time when a storm hit Fairhaven, rich Mr. Amos thought his money would save him. But money couldn't stop the storm's damage. Jonah, the honest farmer, was safe because his good heart guided him to help others, keeping him out of trouble. Jonah's good choices kept his path clear, like a straight road. But Seth, still dishonest, tripped over his own lies, like a hiker stumbling on a rocky path. His sins caused his downfall. Jonah's honesty also saved him when bandits came to the village. His good reputation made people protect him. Seth, however, got caught in his own trap when he tried to cheat the bandits, and they turned on him. Old man Ezra, a kind and upright villager, passed away, but his hope in God lived on, remembered by all. Seth, who only cared about himself, lost everything when he died, and no one mourned him. One day, Jonah faced trouble when a fire threatened his barn. Villagers rushed to help because of his goodness, saving his barn. But when Seth's barn caught fire, no one came. He'd been too selfish, and now he paid the price. A gossip named Lila spread mean rumors about her neighbor, hurting their friendship. But wise Mia, who knew the truth, spoke kindly and helped fix the problem, saving the day with her knowledge. When Jonah's farm did well, the whole village celebrated, throwing a feast. But when Seth's dishonest deals finally failed, people cheered, glad to be rid of his trouble. Jonah's kindness blessed the village, making it a better place, like a sunny day. Lila's cruel words, however, stirred up fights, nearly tearing the community apart. Caleb, still proud, mocked his friend Tim for being slow at running. His mean words showed he wasn't wise. Mia, though, stayed quiet and kind, earning respect. Lila, the gossip, couldn't stop sharing secrets, hurting people's trust. Jonah, however, kept private things private, showing he was trustworthy. When the village needed a new well, they had no plan and almost gave up. But wise elders, including Jonah, worked together, giving advice that led to a great well, keeping everyone safe. A man named Gideon promised to pay a stranger's debt, not thinking it through. When the stranger ran off, Gideon lost a lot. Jonah, cautious, avoided such risky deals and stayed secure. A graceful woman named Hannah was honored for her kindness. But Lila, who hated doing good, was shamed. Lazy villagers lost their savings, while hard-working ones like Jonah kept their wealth. Jonah's kindness to others brought him joy, like a warm hug. But cruel Mr. Amos, who ignored the poor, only caused himself stress and loneliness. Seth's dishonest work earned him nothing but trouble. Jonah, planting seeds of goodness, reaped a life full of blessings. Doing right, like Jonah, led to a full life, like a blooming tree. Chasing evil, like Seth, brought only ruin, like a dead end. God disliked people like Seth, who lived wildly without care. But he loved those like Jonah, whose honest ways pleased him. Seth's bad choices caught up with him, and he faced punishment. Jonah's good heart kept him safe, like a shield. A beautiful but foolish woman named Tara acted without thinking, like a pig with a fancy accessory, pretty but silly. Her choices led nowhere good. Jonah's good desires brought blessings, like helping the village. Seth's selfish wishes only brought trouble, like a storm cloud over his head. Jonah gave generously, sharing his crops, and his wealth grew. Stingy Mr. Amos hoarded everything but ended up poor, with no one to help him. Jonah's generosity blessed others, and he was blessed in return, like a well-fed garden. Those who cursed others, like Lila, found curses coming back to them. During a food shortage, Mr. Amos hid his grain to raise prices, and people cursed him. Jonah sold his fairly, earning the village's thanks and blessings. Jonah sought goodness with all his heart, finding favor with God and people. Seth chased trouble and found it, like stepping into his own trap. Mr. Amos trusted his riches, but they failed him when the village turned against him. Jonah, upright, grew strong, like a healthy tree full of leaves. Seth's selfish actions hurt his family, leaving them with nothing. Foolish people like him ended up serving the wise, like Jonah. Jonah's good life was like a tree of life, inspiring others. Cruel actions, like Seth's, hurt people and led to loss. Finally, if good people like Jonah were rewarded on earth, how much more would God deal with those who chose evil, like Seth? In Fairhaven, the lesson was clear: choosing righteousness, kindness, and wisdom led to a life of blessings, while selfishness and evil led to ruin. And so, the village of Fairhaven learned to live by these truths, growing stronger and happier because of people like Jonah, who showed the way. Now that you currently text, you can scroll down and actually see the Bible verses, read them, and maybe the story will help you understand it better.